Hi, welcome to another video. My name is David Logan, the IT Geek, based here in Annan, south of Scotland. Here for another week, here for another video with the co-host Willie Nicol. Hello Willie, how are you and where are you?
Hi David, I'm very well, thank you. I'm in Troon, South Ayrshire, Scotland.
That's great, that's great. So this week, I want to ask you a question. We're using Zoom for these videos, but as all these meetings are going online using Zoom, I'll keep to Zoom at the moment. You can use, I can't remember the names again, Skype, we've got the Microsoft Teams. They're all video conferencing, but Nate, the word that comes up to me is Zoom fatigue. What is it, and how can we counteract Zoom fatigue?
Thanks David. Yeah, all these video platforms are similar insofar as we're sitting in front of a camera and we're either talking or we're listening. Zoom fatigue, we'll call it that. The fatigue is caused primarily by the way we communicate. Human communication is made up of three things: the words we speak, the way we speak them, what we're doing when we're speaking. And arguably, the biggest element of that is called body language, i.e. what we're doing when we're speaking. Are we moving our arms? Are we fidgeting? Or what are we doing? And because we're no longer in front of people seeing all of them, we're concentrating very hard on their head and shoulders. So that extra concentration is actually quite tiring. And I have some notes here. People also feel they have to make more kind of emotional effort to appear interested. Right? You can't sit there with your face like fizz or your right. So smiling all the time, yes, and trying to look engaged and interested can be quite tiring, particularly if what the other person's saying isn't interesting. So another element of the fatigue, apart from the non-verbal communication cues we get ordinarily, is that we are now a movie star. We are on camera. We are to a certain extent performing, and we're trying to do our performance in a way that makes us look professional, makes us look good, and that imposes a bit of pressure on us. Right? So let's have say the right things, look professional when we're doing it. So it's a performance to a greater or less extent. We also are under a bit of pressure to make sure everything works perfectly, so we don't have interruptions like your housemate coming in with a cup of tea and wandering about behind you, or that you haven't ironed your shirt that day, or whatever it is. You're trying to look professional, and you're trying to make your participation in the call professional. And again, that's a bit of pressure. Then you worry about technical issues. Right, suddenly you're frozen, or your broadband goes down, or you're concentrating on somebody speaking and they disappear off the screen. And you think, what's happened? Right. And you worry about that happening to you. Well, what if my broadband goes down? Oh dear. That's worrying. And that creates a bit of stress, as we've talked about quite frequently, and becomes very tiring. So at the end of the day, once you've been in several Zoom calls or whatever called video calls, you are almost inexplicably tired, thinking all I've done is sit in my seat, watching, listening, and sometimes talking. But for all the things I've just talked about previously there, is you're concentrating very hard, you're making sure everything's absolutely perfect, you're trying to come across professionally, and all of that's quite tiring, whether we realise it or not. So that's the reason we have fatigue.
So is it basically kind of to the mental well-being? Would that be a good way to sum it up?
I wouldn't say mental well-being, but there's a lot of mental stuff in it, if you excuse me saying it that way. Is it's our subconscious, if you like, concentrating very hard to pick up these non-verbal cues, to make sure everything's perfect, right? And we're kind of imposing a lot of pressure on ourselves to make ourselves look professional, make ourselves, if you like, in the best possible light. And that can be very tiring.
Good, good. So how do we counteract it? Just take regular breaks?
Yeah, we've talked about taking regular breaks before. Maybe go for a wee walk or do some breathing exercise or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, you can just say, no, I'm not doing Zoom calls, right? Regrettably, that's probably not an option for the vast majority of us just now. One thing you can do is switch off the camera. Just listen to what's being said. Don't watch. We're not bothered now about non-verbal cues or that element of communication. Is we're just listening. So the visual part of it's taken away, which if you like, decreases the concentration we're having to put into things. You can also use speaker view. So when someone's speaking, right, you click on the speaker view and you're only watching and listening to one person, as opposed to one person and, say, a sea of 20 other faces, where you're constantly distracted, looking at other people. What are they up to? What are they doing? Right? So if you only have one distraction, if you like, that's less tiring than having multiple distractions. Another thing you could do is, could you do it some other way rather than Zoom? What about the old phone? Why don't you phone people for a change? Or send them a text message, right? Or send them an email, whatever. Right? Does it always have to be Zoom calls? Yes, they are very useful. Yes, you can get a lot of people in. Yes, you can get a lot done. Does it always have to be Zoom? Or WebEx or Microsoft Teams or whatever they are, right? Because they are tiring. You will not be as tired if you just phone somebody, right? Give yourself time to switch off, right? So if you're going to do Zoom calls, make sure you have a period of time between them to calm down your racing brain, as it were. And I talked earlier on in a previous video about my iPhone overheating, because eventually your brain will overheat and you've got to let it cool down so that you can function for the next call. And finally, do we have to be in all these Zoom calls? Are they always absolutely necessary? Yes, there will be some. But you maybe have to think about learning how to say no politely. No, I've done too many today. Or no, I'm going to be giving my brain a wee rest. Or no, if you don't mind, I'll just give you a wee phone. Or I'll send you a message or whatever. So all of these things you can do to reduce the impact of the fatigue. Because I personally have got off a Zoom call or a series of Zoom calls and thought, why am I so tired when I've done nothing? Well, actually, you've done lots and lots of stuff. You've been concentrating, you've been watching, you've been listening, you've been making sure this is right and that's right, worrying about will my broadband go down. So all this is going on in your head, and all you think you're doing is sitting, watching and listening. No, there's a lot more going on, and that is tiring.
Fantastic. Great, Willie. I think that'll do us for this week.
Okay.
Unless you have anything else, but we're kind of getting close to the end of our time, if we're trying to keep to the record time. So to the viewer, if you've got any other questions on video conferencing, or as I call it, Zoom fatigue, fire them to us. Fire them to the comments down below. YouTube, website, Facebook, LinkedIn, we've got on all these channels. Send us a comment, send us a private message. If you don't want to put it publicly, send a private message to Willie, or message me, myself. So that's us for this week. Week number 15, if I'm right, Willie, week number 15? Yeah, good. So thank you for the support, guys, viewers, ladies and guys. Keep supporting us, keep linking to us, connecting to us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have fun, that's the main thing. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Yes, David. Great words, thank you. It's just thoughts from me, Willie Nicol, life coach and Techno Dinosaur. You say, have a lovely weekend, everyone. We'll catch up again soon.